with the book of Daniel, and we've been in the book of Daniel for the past few weeks, and there's something that I'm going to bring to our attention that I didn't really talk a whole lot about 2 Sundays ago when we were going through the story in Daniel chapter 3. And that is Daniel chapter 3 with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and what they did on the plain of Dura. The story is this. Nebuchadnezzar builds a golden statue. He wants to be God himself. He wants to be worshipped. He's prideful. He's arrogant. He exalts himself as God, and he wants everybody to worship him. And it's on the plain of Dura where he assembles all of the important people, the VIPs of Babylon, the prefects, the satraps, all the individuals, the governors, the ones that would be the who's who of Babylon are there on this plain. And the command is given that when they hear the music playing, that everyone is supposed to bow down and worship the golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar has made of himself. And so this is what's happening. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are on the plain of Dura with all these important people. The music starts. Everybody hits the ground. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stay standing. And the penalty of staying standing and not worshiping the golden image is that they were to immediately be thrown into the fire. And so this is what I want to bring out about this, is that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were taking a stand because they refused to honor anyone other than God as God. They refused to bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar because he's not God. They refused to go through the ritual of worshiping him because he's not God. And so they took their stand. They took an issue, understanding of who God is, and they went against the grain of the culture around them to take a stand for God. But they did it in a godly way. They didn't go through the crowd at the plain of Dura, ripping people off the ground, punching them in the face, beating them, destroying them or their personal property. There was no violence. They simply, literally took their stand. And they showed the world that they bow down to no one but to God. And the King Nebuchadnezzar, nor any government, nor any other power of this world is going to dictate who they worship to, because only God is God. And so why am I going over this? I just want us to look at this with the things that are happening around our world and have been happening over the last several months, over the last few years, with all the civil disobedience that has been taking place. There is one thing that has to remain the same if it's going to be done in a godly fashion, and that is you have to do it in a way that pleases the Lord. You can't tear through people's property. You can't loot people's business. You can't be violent towards other people. Take your stand about what God is calling you to take your stand against, whatever injustice or whatever someone is calling you to do that goes against God's word, but take your stand in a way that is honoring to the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. There are times when we need to take a stand, but we need to do it in a way that pleases the Lord.